It's party time.
Hextall stops it. Look out. Down the ice. Will
got a chance. He's got a chance.
He's got it.
Yes, sir.
Now, Andy Robb, Ken Prell, the Philly Hockey Guys.
Woo! Woo! Yeah, give me that air horn. It's a celebration.
It is. I mean, I'm still in complete and utter shock with it.
I cannot believe it, but you know what? In a way that I can, because Ron Hextall is a Jedi Master. Yeah, I'm convinced.
When you have God as your general manager, anything's possible.
Wow, and of course, you don't need us to tell you what we're talking about here, because the news has been all over the place, but we will address it in a just a second. Welcome to an impromptu, another episode of the Philly Hockey Guys podcast. We just put one out yesterday.
A very special episode.
And of course, as soon as we put something out, Hextall just makes everything null and void, and he's like, nope. So, yes, of course, this show is dedicated to the memory of Vincent Lecavalier and Luke Schenn.
We hardly knew you.
Being shipped off to the Los Angeles Kings in a deal that brought us back Jordan Wheel and a third-round pick, meaning within the first 3 rounds of the draft now, the Flyers have 5 picks.
And don't forget, a bunch of cap space now.
Let's talk about that real quick. But before we do, of course, got to get the plugs out there. Follow us on Twitter at Philly Hockey Guy. We are also on Facebook. Ken threatened me before we did the show today. He said, you need to mention the Facebook page because I don't really do it a lot. And he said he was going to hurt me.
Yes, I really had no choice, especially what you put me through the other day.
Well, we're on Facebook. So, today, look, the rage is kind of melted off.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone. It was gone as of, right around 5 o'clock yesterday.
Who needs Excedrin migraine when you have Ron Hextall that alleviates all pain and suffering in terms of cap hell?
All right, so let's break down this trade. Lecavalier and Schenn to the Kings in exchange for a third-round pick and Jordan Wheel. Now, the Flyers will retain 50% of both Schenn and Lecavalier's contracts, so that's about $2.25 million on Lecavallier's and about $1.8 million on Schenn's salary. So, and that's only for this year.
Exactly, because Luke Schenn is pretty much basically more or less a rental for the Los Angeles Kings. And then the word is coming in, Lecavalier is planning on retirement at the end of this season, which would save the Flyers great chunk of change over the next few years.
Yeah, they don't have to cover those last 2 years because Vinny signed that deal when he was 33. So he doesn't fall under the retirement cap, which is, 35, I think, if you sign
35, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this is just huge. A little bit about Jordan Wheel. He's been an AHL star, point-per-game kind of player. Really hasn't had an opportunity to play too much for the LA Kings, so he's going to get that opportunity now.
Very interested into seeing what he does with the club. He will be scratched for tonight's game against the Minnesota Wild. Apparently, in our most recent reports that we got based on what time this is that we're recording this, he hasn't joined the team yet, so he will be a scratch for tonight's game against the Wild later on. I like it. I like the move. I mean, how can you not like it?
The Flyers could have gotten nothing back, and I would have liked the move. I mean, just clearing that cap space. So right now, according to GeneralFanager.com, Flyers have about $4.1 million in cap space for this year.
I mean, basically now, the world is your oyster. I mean, you could pretty much call up anybody from the minors at this point. You're able to do it.
Yeah, the Flyers, they have flexibility now the rest of the year. They can do whatever they want. They can go out and trade for somebody. They can call up either Gagne or Andrew McDonald. I know you're waiting for that call up again.
I am. I know. I certainly am. He's actually been doing pretty well.
Surprisingly well down there in the AHL. This trade, we're joking about Andrew McDonald. Really, they don't need a defenseman. There was a logjam at defenseman on this team. So this now helps open up a roster spot there. Medvedev doesn't have to be a healthy scratch now. So, right. This trade all around is just fantastic news for the Flyers.
Yeah, and, I'll say this much because we did talk about this on a prior show. I don't remember which one. But, Luke Schenn has really done a great job playing with Shane Gostisbehere.
I'm not going to argue with it, but I think Gostisbehere can play with anybody. But, yeah, no, I think they were developing a chemistry. Again, I don't think it's, the end of the world for Gostisbehere that Luke Shen has now been traded.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying they had a nice dynamic together.
Yes, absolutely. I agree there.
But isn't it kind of strange that we got Braden Shen from the LA Kings and we got Luke Shen from the Maple Leafs, and now Luke Shen is going to the LA Kings and Braden Shen is still in Philadelphia?
It is kind of weird, but I don't think Braden Shen's going to be around too much longer.
You still think that they're going to deal Braden Shen?
Well, I mean, after his comments yesterday, I want to see Braden Shen gone.
Let's talk about that real quick. Do you have that quote?
Yeah, Braden Shen, after the trade, he was, very happy for Luke, his brother. But he said for him to get a chance to be on a contending team playing probably a pretty valuable role, it's going to be huge for both of them, and I'm excited for them. What ticks me off about that comment is that Luke Shen now gets a chance to play for a contending team. So I guess Braden's saying that the Flyers are not a contending team?
I think what he's meaning to say, the Kings are in a better place than the Flyers at this point.
You can't say that now going to a contending team.
Are you out of your mind?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think he is.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for this. I think he was kind of caught up in the moment. Because it was very unexpected the way that he took that.
Well,
he was not expecting it.
I mean, it was unexpected for, I think, everybody. Nobody saw this trade coming.
He's probably really surprised that his brother got traded before him.
True.
That's probably
Yeah.
and you know what the real funny thing is about this whole thing with all these player movements with like the Shens and stuff? The Leafs just still have JVR.
Yeah. Who's going to
Thank
put up
you very
what?
much, Paul Holmgren,
Yeah.
current general manager.
He's going to score what? Another 30 goals this year?
Oh, my God, dude. All in all, good moves for the Flyers, especially, on a financial standpoint. And, if Braden Shen winds up getting moved for the right price, all right, fine. But I'm not even really thinking about that right now. All I'm really thinking about is LeCavalier's out. And not even to slight the guy because, the guy's a legend. I still respect him. It was too big of a contract, and it was too unnecessary of a contract. If you were going to bring 33-year-old Vinny LeCavalier and sign him to a 5-year deal, why would you buy out Danny Briere's contract?
Well, you go back to when they signed him. Remember, Vinny only picked the Flyers because of
Lavi.
Yeah. So, and at that time, Snyder and Holmgren both knew that Lavi was on a short leash.
Yep.
That was it. So it never made any sense for them to go out and sign Vinny. And I think Vinny realized that early on, and, it just was never a good fit. So, and I hope Vinny has a lot of success here in the last couple months of the season.
Watch, he's going to win a cup.
Yeah, I'm not even going to comment on that.
Wow, well, needless to say, a lot of people are excited about this move. So it looks like you have something. What do you got?
No, I was just going over just more good news on the salary cap front. You're looking at after the season, if the Flyers end up buying out Umberger and don't re-sign Gagne and Medvedev, they will free up around $16 million in cap space for the offseason. Now, that's before the Voracek and Couturier raises go into effect. But still, you're looking at, a nice hunk of change there for Hextall to go out and make some improvements to this team.
Like getting Stamkos, like people are saying?
I think that's a little unrealistic. I'll be shocked if Tampa Bay lets him get away.
True. A lot of people are wondering if it's going to open up room for Jonathan Drouin and stuff like that, but it's too early to tell, I think, in terms of this. So let's just all focus on the fact that we have all this cap space now, and we only have one bad contract left. That's it, man. Hextall's doing the Lord's work, which is Andrew McDonald's contract. Of course, as we all know, a 6-year deal worth $30 million after the 2014 season. So that's a big one.
There's only 5 guys on the team now to have a contract beyond the 2017-2018 season.
And they are?
Giroux, Voracek, Simmons, Reed, and Couturier. And I don't think Reed is probably long for this team. I could see him being dealt here within the next month or so.
Who do you see, getting off topic just a little bit, but who do you see being moved first as an asset piece because you brought both of their names up, Matt Reed or Braden Shen?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think Braden Shen has more value, especially after the way he played the other night against Montreal. What do you have, a 3-point night?
Yeah, 3-point game.
And I was kind of questioning that second line of Couturier, Raffle, and Braden Shen. And
I remember,
boy, man,
yeah, they really
they showed me. I was way off on that because they played really well together.
Yes, they did. Now that raises the question. Now, you don't think this is this kind of personal thing with Braden being separated from his brother? Do you think that's going to drop his production off in the next few games, or do you think he's going to maintain that professionalism?
No, he's a pro. He knows the sport's a business. Again, I'm not too crazy about the comment, as we already talked about.
Right.
But again, I think you're right. He probably was just caught up in the moment, caught off guard, and really wasn't thinking what he was saying. But in terms of what you're getting back in return, you'll definitely get more for Braden Shen than you will for Matt Reed. And Braden Shen is a restricted free agent at the end of the season, so that makes him attractive as well. Where Reed still has 3 or 4 years left on his deal.
Yeah, I'd be compelled to agree with you there on that. So I'll go ahead and say that too. Braden Shen, I think, obviously has more value than Matt Reed.
Well, we certainly aren't the only ones who are very excited about this trade.
No, of course not. Not only on Twitter, but on Facebook. Of course, our main sounding board, our home base, one of our favorite places in the whole cyberspace, Reddit Flyers. They had what's known as the Ron Hextall upvote party yesterday on the Flyers Reddit. So we'll take a look into, our mailbag and see what kind of responses we have to the initial news of this big deal going down. Let's see what we got. Ooh, I like this music.
Yeah, isn't it pretty good?
It's very upbeat. It matches everything.
Very late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah. Frank the Shank #1 says it's raining cap space. Hallelujah.
Oh, absolutely.
But then
Praise be to Hextall.
Yeah, but right under that, Will McAvoy makes a comment that's so awesome. It says $18 million and change at Vinny retires at the season end. Seriously, I know it already. I'm going to get in the car tonight, and they're going to be chirping on the radio about the Eagles.
And actually, I was listening to The Fanatic at the time of the trade, and yeah, they talked about the trade for about 30, 45 seconds, and then right back in the Eagles head coach talk.
Oh, of course. Speaking of the Eagles defense, 87 says, in all caps, make him the Eagles head coach. Hextall can do no wrong.
I'm for it, absolutely. Sign him up.
Imposter 1089 says, who cares? Contract's gone. One horrible one. Praise be.
Yep, that's what it is. It's all praise be to Hextall.
I like this one. Trustable Uncrustable, which is a great username. He says this, it's going to be awkward when we make it to the Cup final this season and have to play the Kings.
I like that one. That one's pretty good.
That's fantastic. Oh, man. And some of the people that replied to our thread right in the whole discussion from the L says, making room for Druin? I don't know. Flimbles says, making room for Stamkos.
See, this is the problem with everybody now wants to think, hey, Hextall's got some cap space. Let's go out and pretend we're the old Flyers and just sign everybody.
Nick W. Rock says, making room for Tarasenko.
See, I like the next one there. From Champ of NJ saying, sorry, we fired Homer, no more overpaying. And I think that's a very valid point.
Absolutely. 3D Squared says, what do you think of Hextall's chances for GM of the year? I like him.
What he's been able to do has just been absolutely amazing over the past really almost a year now, because it started last February when he traded Tiemann. The moves since then have just been amazing.
Over the last 10 months, yeah. I mean, I don't think there's been too many short-sighted or bad moves that Ron Hextall had to make. Zach to the Future, that made some great photoshops yesterday. He did one that made it look like Luke Shen died and he was going up to heaven. That was great. Zach to the Future says we should read the whole thread, but we'll get as close as possible. One of my favorite ones is from Virevox that says this, confirmed, Hextall trades 100% of national debt to China for a large pizza and a side of wings. In Hextall we trust. He could probably pull that one off, too.
Absolutely.
Then, in response to that, Lincoln Batman says, wait, would Hexy be a Republican or Democratic politician? Nirvana Zeppelin says he'd create his own party. This is one of our favorite things, giving just tons and tons of shout-outs to all of our Reddit Flyers friends and neighbors that hang out and listen to the show. And even if they don't, they'll never know that we said their name.
That's true.
But everyone should be. Man, I love this music, though.
I mean, it's great. It just puts you in that good mood, especially the state of Philadelphia sports right now. We were talking about this just in the last show.
Yep.
About how the Flyers are probably best set up and the best run organization in Philadelphia right now. And Hextall just confirmed that in the last 24 hours.
Oh, no doubt about it. They do have, it seems like, the clearest vision for the future. They have an idea of what they're looking to do. What?
Chaos of 99. The hexual healing continues.
I like that. John and Son said we need a solid third wheel pun in there.
That's pretty good.
In which we replied, Hex is wheeling and dealing.
Nice.
We just read one of our own comments. That's fantastic.
We're not self-serving at all.
No, not at all.
Let's get a couple more in here before we wrap up this one.
Milge says, take these upvotes all over your chins. Pack it in. I think we got a winner.
That's it. Let's end right there.
Hextall, you sandbagging son of a bitch. That's from Too Happy Fappy. Just best GM in Philly sports.
Oh.
That's coming from John Von Newman.
I mean, is there really any competition?
No. No. All right, here's a good one. I'm trying. This is from Epoch28, who has interacted with us before. He says this: I heard it on the radio when I started driving home. Almost crashed my car on 95 when my erection slammed into my steering wheel.
We have a winner. There we go.
Ding, ding, ding. Epoch28. There you go. Oh, wow. We're having a blast here. Everyone's had some great comments. And, you can always interact with us. Shoot us a message. We'd love to hear from you, especially on Reddit Flyers. Philly Hockey Guys is our name on Reddit, but Philly Hockey Guy is our Twitter handle. It's confusing.
But, yeah, I mean, just what a great day to be a Flyers fan.
Yeah.
And we got a game tonight.
Yes, we do. Taking on the Wild of Minnesota.
This could be a tough game for the Flyers tonight because Minnesota's pretty dominant at home.
I'm expecting it to be close, I think. I think Claude Giroux is going to have a great game. I think Simmons is going to have a good game as well.
Yeah, Flyers looking to break a 5-game road winless streak. As they're 0-4-1, haven't won on the road since they played the Blues back in early December. And like I said, the Wild, really good at home.
Yeah, you're not kidding. They're 14-5-1 at home currently. And yeah, that's definitely nothing to thumb your nose at for sure.
So, yeah, it would be nice to see the Captain Hockey Stick.
Captain Hockey Stick. You're damn right, buddy.
I think that's our new show mascot.
Oh, my God. If there's anybody listening right now on Reddit Flyers, maybe Reddit user Evan Loves You or Zach to the Future, if you can come up with a logo for Captain Hockey Stick, you can design them, make them look like whatever you want, and that's awesome. I like that. I like Captain Hockey Stick.
We need a mascot.
All right, I'll tell you what. Yeah, because you know what? That goes back to an episode that we had a while ago. You can check all of them out. We've done like 50 shows already on iTunes, but we were talking about if the Flyers needed a mascot, and that could be it. Captain Hockey Stick.
Captain Hockey Stick.
I mean, we already have Steve Coates and Santa Coatsy, but Captain Hockey Stick I think would be a good one. Yeah. So anyway, back to the game tonight. This is the first game without Luke Schenn, the first game without Vincent Lecavalier in the press box.
This is the wheel era begins tonight.
I hope that he gets like a game winner and like the headline on NHL.com is like, oh, wheelie.
Oh, the puns.
Are you for wheel? How about this one? Jesus, take the wheel.
Oh, I kind of like that one. That's a good one.
Spelled G-Zus.
Yes.
Jesus, take the wheel. I like that. We can come up with a whole bunch of these. Wheel of Fortune.
Philly.com and CSN.com. They can thank us already. We got plenty of these.
Oh, the wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Right? Oh, Journey sucks, dude.
Well, we know it's time to wrap up the show once Andy starts singing.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like the pterodactyl in the Flintstones. They're like, oh, time to go. But no, in all seriousness, we just wanted to do this short episode to, read some great comments that we got from.
It's actually not turning out to be a short episode.
No, it isn't.
It's pretty much a normal episode for us.
All right, well, throw it onto the pile. That's like episode number 55 or something. I can't believe we made it from the entire offseason, and now we're here, and Vincent Lecavalier is gone. We've gone through all of it already.
It's amazing.
And, of course, interact with us on Reddit Flyers. We're always hanging out there, and this was an impromptu episode, so we're not going to do the contest announcement today, but by our next show, we'll get some details worked out for that.
Yeah, early next week we'll be back in the studio and hopefully talking about some Flyers wins.
That'll certainly be nice. And then
or more trades. Who knows? Hexy could be working the phones right now.
That's true. I don't know what to expect from this guy. So, yeah, a few games coming up over the weekend. Of course, the Flyers are going to play the Islanders on the 9th, and then they're back in action again on the 13th against the Bruins. We'll do another show at some point.
Yeah, between that Islanders and Bruins game. Because you know what? That's Zach Ronaldo revenge night.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yes.
This is the first time since the hit on Couturier.
Oh, man.
So we'll have an episode before that game.
Yeah, and you know what? I have a feeling that after the Ronaldo return game with the Flyers, I have a feeling that a whole bunch of stupidity is going to come out. So I have a feeling rage-inducing Facebook comments is coming back. I really do. I've got a feeling about that Bruins game.
All right. Yes, I can't wait for it.
All right. Well, that's it. Well, thanks for tuning in. I know we just put out a show yesterday, and if you didn't catch that episode, what the hell's wrong with you? I mean, listen now.
It's up on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, TuneIn. We're everywhere. Just check us out, Philly Hockey Guys.
And, of course, if you're feeling generous, it's a new year, so, go ahead and pop a review and a rating on the show.
Always appreciate it. All right, well, that does it for this one. For Andy Robb, I'm Ken Prell. We are the Philly Hockey Guys. Let's go, Flyers!
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like the Philly Hockey Guys podcast page on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Philly Hockey Guy. And subscribe on iTunes, TuneIn, and SoundCloud.
Bye, Vinny. Bye, Luke.